Well, technical difficulties there. Hopefully everything is coming through just fine. JV action coming up next, just finishing up warm-ups. There's Mr. Dunlap as he's walking in to cheer on the JV team. Good. All right. Knights varsity team coming off of a 2-0 win just about a half an hour ago. Hoyt Banks from Cunningham in the second period, 3:58 remaining for the game winner. Sanders from Gunnersmith with 5:22 remaining in the game to give them a little cushion and ice that thing away. Tigers ended the game with a 6-on-3 after a couple penalties there by the Knights and having to pull their goalie. Couldn't get one past Smith to give themselves a chance. And the final score, Kansas City Knights 2, Midmo Tigers 0. JV action coming up here. Let's take a look at the standings. Knights sitting in first place with 24 points. Midmo Tigers JV team sitting in fifth, just like their varsity team, at 14 points. So Knights really rolling it. The only loss of the season was down in Northwest Arkansas. I believe they lost 2-1 on that Saturday game before coming back and winning on Sunday. White will be in net for the Tigers. Samuel Dinsmore in net for the Knights. Hear a lot of the same names here from both teams, as a lot of the JV players do double time with the varsity. This will be Smith, Busher, and Neal. Graham and Morrison on the defense. Smith will take the face-off. He usually doesn't do that. It's usually Neal's responsibility. But he'll win this one right to Busher. Busher will lose it. Pin slaps it back out into the neutral zone. Graham up ahead, or Morrison up ahead to Neal. Neal dumps it back behind White. Tigers up the half wall. Bounces right to the crease. Smith will grab a hold of this one. Now kicks over far side. This will be Neal. Up against the half wall. Continues to battle for it. Pokes it up against the wall. Smith will come over. Can't get a hold of that one. Nice forecheck there by Busher. Loose puck in the crease. Now trickles over near side half wall. Neal will chase after it. Comes away with the puck. Sends it down low. Grabbed by Busher. Leaves it for Graham. Graham will backhand it towards White. Right into his glove. They'll blow it dead. Face off in the Tiger zone. Knights will switch it up. This will bring in Brookfield, Honan, and Diaz. McClin and Becker on the defense. Honan centers it up front, off the stick of Diaz, right to Brookfield. Backhands it up front, stolen by the Tigers. Harris will lose this one. Honan will come away with it. Up the left-hand side, takes a big body check up against the wall. Right to McClin. McClin will backhand it over near corner. Up ahead to Honan. Her backhand popped high up into the air, goes up into the netting. They'll blow it dead. Face off in the Tiger zone. 11:37 remaining in the first. No score. Brookfield will take the center spot. Honan goes right, Diaz goes left. Becker and McClin on the defense. Brookfield wins it up high towards McClin, sends it back down towards the corner, grabbed by the Tigers. They can't get it cleared off of McClin's stick, comes right to the slot. McClin holds it at the blue line once again, sends it back down into the corner, grabbed by the Tigers. Now stolen by McClin. Clearing pass couldn't get out. In comes Neal. He's calling for it. Right to Neal. Loses the puck. Comes to Chikine. Can't get a shot off. Tigers will try to clear it and do. Out into the neutral zone comes to McClin. McClin will bring it in the right-hand side. Loses the puck as he tries to go back to his forehand. Sitting there. Chikine grabs it. Takes a shot. Witt with a save. Rebound. Smith. Right into the glove of White. They'll blow it dead. Face-off will be in the Tiger zone. Neal, Smith, and Chikine in here. Neal will take the center spot. They hooked up last time we had a broadcast down in Wichita. Quick shot by Smith. Blocker saved by White. That turned out to be the game winner to Lincoln Chikine from Neal. Shot saved by White again. That was the Saturday night action. The Sunday action was a 3-0 victory by the Knights down in Wichita. As we saw Kellen Wiebe get her first goal as a Knight. And Chikine's going to get an interference. And that'll put the Tigers to the power play as the faceoff will come down into the Knight zone. 2 minutes on the clock as Chikine heads to the sin bin. Brought to you by the Westport Flea Market, home of the best burgers in Kansas City. Now Neal and Smith will go to the bench. This will be Brookfield and Honan. Won by the Tigers, held at the blue line. Now they'll dump it over near corner. Graham clears it. And they inadvertently called another icing when the Knights are on the power play, or the penalty kill. And Zwellenberg giving them all kinds of grief over there. He's like, it's the second time in 2 games you guys have done that to us. Face-off grab by the Tigers. This will be Carnes. Takes it way down into his own end. Forecheck by Honan. Comes around Honan. Now brings it up the left-hand side. Takes a shot off the end of the glove of Dinsmore. Rebound shot comes over near side. Punch back down low. Comes to Graham. He'll try to clear it. Off the boards, held by the Tigers. Now punched out in the neutral zone. Brookfield to chase after. Tigers get there first. They'll have to regroup. Up the right-hand side, being back checked by Brookfield. Down around Morrison. Grabbed by Graham. Sent around the boards. Tapped by Honan. Down into the Tiger zone, and we'll get a line change. The Tigers will race down. Touched by White. In comes Neal. In comes Morrison. In comes Busher. Tigers whiff on the pass. Stolen by Busher. Busher will come to the first. Deflected right from the slot off the stick of Penn. That goes up into the net. Blown dead. Face off in the Tigers zone. 47 seconds remaining on the power play for the Midmo Tigers. 9:04 remaining in the first. We're scoreless. Graham and McClin on the defense. Neal and Busher for this offensive zone face-off. Neal wins it to Busher. Takes a shot wide left of the net. Far side, Tigers try to clear it. Busher holds it in up against the half wall. Center pass stolen by the Tigers, and here they come the other way. Graham will poke check. Off it goes into the far corner. McClin will try to clear this one off the half wall. Now it's a race for the puck. White will come over, touch this one. Grabbed by the Tigers, chased by Neal around the backside of White. Tigers will bring it up the left-hand side. Around Busher. Can't get around McClin. Neal will poke check it, but can't get it cleared. Gives a big body check up against the wall. Loose puck grabbed by Graham. He'll clear it out into the neutral zone, down into the Tiger zone, touched up by White once again. They'll send it around the back half wall, up the wall. Graham can't get it held. Delayed offsides, loose puck here at neutral, stolen by Neal. Knights are back to full strength. Graham will get it to Chikine. Neal will go to the bench, in comes Smith. Big check by Chikine down low. Nice forecheck by Busher. Loose puck up against the wall. Tigers come away with it. Can't get it past Smith. Comes right to Busher. He'll take a shot over the blocker of White. Far side goes to McClin. Sends it over to Graham. One-timer goes wide right. Grabbed by Busher down low. Skates up through the crease. Leaves it for McClin. McClin will skate down into the corner. Centered, comes back across to Busher. He'll take a shot just past the right post. Missed it by inches. Skates over at the blue line, holds it in. Now the Tigers will clear it. Comes to Diaz. Right back to McClin, and we're going to get an offsides. Chikine about a foot away from getting back on side as McClin skated it in. Brookfield, Honan, Diaz, Becker, and Morrison. Brookfield wins it ahead into the Tiger zone. This is grabbed by the Tigers. Off the half wall up ahead. Slapped at there by Morrison. Puck dies and now dumped into the Knight zone. This will be Brookfield. Slaps it off the back half wall up ahead towards Honan. Held by Davenport. Loose puck grabbed by Morrison. Pushed ahead, and that's no. Nope, now the icing. No arm in the air by the back refs, but the forward ref called it. Face-off will come back into the Knight zone. 6:41 remaining the first, no score. McClin and Larson will come in on the defense. Brookfield, Diaz, Honan. Won by the Tigers, but deflected by Diaz. Now to Honan. Honan back to Diaz. Loses the puck off into the far corner. Brookfield battling up front. Now we're going to get a delayed penalty on the Tigers. They'll touch it up. They'll blow it dead. Holding by the Tigers. The Knights will go to the power play, brought to you by Par Electric. 6:18 remaining in the first. Kempkes will bring in Smith, Neal, and Chikine on this power play. Leave Larson in there on the defense along with Becker. Neal wins it to Chikine. Off of Chikine's stick, stolen by the Tigers. They'll skate in one-on-one. Nice back check by Larson. Now cleared around the half wall. Great effort by Larson as he holds that, and that's going to be an offsides. They'll blow it dead as who's that pin? Looks like still down for the Tigers. Slow to get up. Holding his right arm. I think is that Penn? No, that's not Penn. That's Carnes, number 46. And he's going to go straight off the bench area. Face-off will come off near side in the neutral zone. Knights on the power play for another minute 38. Face-off won by the Tigers. Dump back down low. Now grabbed by Larson back behind Dinsmore. Cycles it back to Chikine. Looking for that cross-ice pass, trying to get it to Smith. Comes right back to Chikine. Finally pushed ahead to Smith, tapped in over there to Chikini, and Neal's way offsides. Face-off will come out to neutral. 1:15 remaining on this night's power play. Haven't got anything going on this yet, as the Tigers have controlled the puck possession for the most part. Knights will switch up. Chikini will go to the bench. Busher will come out. Graham and McClin on the defense. Face-off chipped out by the Tigers, neutralized to McClin. Off of Neal's skate, right to Busher. Loose puck, little sloppy puck handling here by the Knights. Now Graham will backhand it up the wall towards Smith. Behind his legs, gets it to McClin. Backhand over to Neal. Goes off into the far corner, him and Penn. Neal takes a big body check. Puck goes down low. Smith cycles it up the boards to Neal. Neal to Busher. Backhanded over to Neal. 40 seconds remaining. Neal with a shot. That gets deflected. Smith comes away with it. Over to McClin. Skates in. Neal, or Smith, shot. White covers it up. Nice centering pass by McClin, getting it over to Bo Smith. Couldn't pull the trigger on that one. Slow roller right to White. He'll put the glove over the top of it. They'll blow it dead. Face off in the Tiger zone. Brought to you by CK Print Design. Honan, Brookfield, Diaz will check in along with Becker and Larson. One by the Tigers down into the corner. Now it comes loose to Honan. She tries to center it. Nobody home for the Knights. Honan will push it back into the Tiger zone. Kick back out. Comes right to the stick of Diaz. Gets it to Larson. Larson will skate in. To his right. Takes a shot. White with a save. .418 remaining in the first. No score. Face-off will be in the Tiger zone. Brookfield wins it to himself, backhands it up high to Becker. He'll take a shot right off the skate of Wells. Rattles around the half wall, goes far side. Diaz gets it to Brookfield. Tries to get it to Honan, and Diaz is going to get a penalty as the pass came right to Honan, but she couldn't get a shot off before the whistle was blown. Diaz will head to the sin bin. Hands to the waist. I'm not sure what that call is. That's one of the few I don't know. If anybody can text me, hands of the waist. Tell me what that call is. They were signaling 5-on-5, so. Face-off will be at neutral. Smith, Neal, Busher back in there. Face-off comes to Smith. Cycles it over to Big Mo. Big Mo to McClin, slaps it off the boards, getting it ahead to Neal. Pokes it down into the corner, will chase after. Tigers will get there first, misses on the puck. Now around the half wall. Back behind White. Neal will battle far corner, gets pinched, loses the puck. Back behind White, Neal continues to battle for it. In comes Smith, trickles over far side. Morrison slaps it back down low. Cleared up the boards off the skate of Neal. Comes right to Smith. Tries to center to Busher. And here come the Knights the other way. Or the Tigers the other way. Poked away by Neal. Back out to neutralize. Tigers will have to get on side. In comes Neal with a big body check. Down goes one of the Tigers players. Puck comes over near side. Now they'll look for the cross-ice pass. Pass Neal right to Morrison. Morrison will skate it in. He takes a body check, loses the puck, goes down off to the far corner in the Tiger zone. Around the backside of White, pressured by Smith. Loose puck comes right to Busher. He gets squeezed by a couple Tigers. The loose puck grabbed by the Tigers. And Busher's still down on the ice. And they're going to give a couple offsetting penalties, Busher and one of the Tigers. So to remain a 5-on-5 skate, this will be Smith, Brookfield, and Chicany in here for the Knights. Larson and Becker on the defense. Offensive zone face-off for the Knights. Tigers win this face-off. They'll try to cycle it up the boards. Broken up by Chicany. Just past the stick of Brookfield. Goes to Smith, back to Brookfield. Brings it across ice to Becker. Becker holds it right at the blue line, sends it around the half wall. Tigers will get it cleared off the skate of Larson. He'll gain the red line. Gets it to Chicany. Backhands it into the center. Grabbed by the Tigers. They'll get their breakout up the left-hand side. Gains the red line and backhands it down into the Knight zone. Larson will get there first. Backhands it, trying to get it to Brookfield. Tigers hold it. Send one back behind Dinsmore. That'll be Becker up to Smith. Cleared back out by the Tigers. And Becker's going to get himself a penalty on that late check. And the Tigers now will go to the power play. Face-off will be in the Knight zone, 1:46 remaining in the first. Penalty box getting a little full over there for the Knights as they got Diaz, Busher, and Becker all in there. This penalty kill, they'll bring in McClin and Graham, Smith, and Chicany. Carnes is back out there for the Tigers. Looks like he's all right now. Face-off win. Blocker saved by Dinsmore. Comes over near corner. Graham will try to clear it. Held by the Tigers. Shot. Deflected. Blocker saved by Dinsmore. Cleared by Graham. What a beautiful save by Dinsmore. Deflected up front. Dinsmore got his blocker up there to keep that one out of the net. Chicany looks injured as he's skating slowly off to the bench. Down into the corner, grabbed by the Tigers. Neal will come in for Chicany. Cross-ice pass, that should be an icing. Icing is waved off. Must have said it was deflected. 1 minute remaining, 1:08 remaining on the Tigers' power play. Graham will clear it once again. All the way down to White. Taps it up. Now it'll be grabbed by Harris. Up to Carnes. Around Honan. Into the Knight zone. Can't get it around McClin. Loose puck goes right towards Dinsmore. He'll cover this one up. They'll blow it dead with 30 seconds remaining in the period. Face off in the Knight zone. And now Neal's going to go to the penalty box. Slashing on Neal, or tripping on Neal. So now it'll be a 5-on-3 for the Tigers. So Honan was in there. She'll come out. It'll be Brookfield, Larson, and Big Mo. Face-off grab comes to Carnes for the Tigers. Peels around in the near corner. Pressured by Brookfield, gets a little time and space. Now takes a shot, goes way over the net, comes over near side, held in by the Tigers, Davenport. Gets it over to Harris. Big slapper, shoots and scores. With just 9.7 seconds remaining in the period. 1-0 Tigers on the power play goal. That'll bring Busher out, so it'll be Smith, Busher, Becker, and Larson. Face-off comes to Busher, skates it in, loses the puck to a poke check, comes right back to the slot, and a back check saves a shot, and that'll be the end of the period. Opportunity there for the Knights. Nice defense by the Tigers. And after one, the Tigers lead 1-0. Whatever this is. I don't know this penalty. So the Tigers will start the second. 1:31 remaining on the power play from the tripping penalty on Neal. Shots on goal shows 2 for Midmo, but I think they've had a few more than that. 6 for the Knights. Controlled most of the puck possession when it's been 5-on-5, but towards the end of that period, a lot of penalties for the Knights, leading to a long power play at 1.5-on-3. Tigers got a power play goal, take a 1-0 lead. They'll win the faceoff. Carnes can't get it past Larson, backhands it back into neutral ice. Now the Tigers will bring it in over to Carnes, takes a shot. Dinsmore with a save. Knights can't get it cleared from the slot, whiffs on the shot. Loose puck back behind the net. This will be Carnes, tries to center it up front. That goes past everyone all the way into the Tiger zone. Penn will look over his shoulder, takes it around the backside of White. Stolen by Larson momentarily, now dumped into the Knights or the Tiger zone by Morrison, delayed offsides. Nice forecheck by Larson, gets the steal, skates in, shoots, White with a save. Bo Smith right there waiting for a rebound, but smothered up by White, falls right into his glove. They'll blow a dead face-off in the Tiger zone. 12:18 remaining in the second. Tigers leading 1-0. Chikini, Busher, McClin, and Becker in here. 45 seconds remaining on the penalty for Neal tripping. Tigers with the puck. Harrison all the way up ahead. Got back behind McClin and Becker, but now stolen by McClin. McClin up the left, takes a shot. White with the save. They'll blow it dead. Another face-off in the Tiger zone. Chikini will step in for this offensive zone face-off. Down into the corner, grabbed by the Tigers, stolen by Busher, back behind White. To his forehand, right to the center of the crease, takes a shot, deflected, goes over the net. Off into the far corner, grabbed by Busher once again. Back into the crease, takes another shot, deflected, goes wide of the net. Grabbed by Chikini down low. Stolen by the Tigers, they'll chip it up the half wall. Chikini with a big body check, loose puck, grabbed by Strains. And now we're going to get an elbowing and a tripping. That could be a double minor by Chikini. At the elbow on the check, and then a trip on the delayed penalty. Neal's made it out of the penalty box. He'll come out on the ice. So 4 minutes goes to the penalty on Chicani, double minor. 11:22 remaining in the second. Now Neal hit the bench, so this will be Larson, Smith, Becker, and McClin. Out to neutralize to McClin. Sends it back into the Tiger zone, kicked right back out. Now we're going to get an icing by the Tigers, so this will come back into the Tiger zone for this offensive zone faceoff for the Knights. Trailing 1-0. Feels like the Knights have been on the penalty kill now for about 6 minutes. Larson will step in, wins the faceoff to McClin. Sends it back into the corner to Larson. Battles pinned for it, comes away with it, back behind White. Tried to cycle it around the boards, bounce it off the ref, comes right back to him, centered up front. Smith covered up by 2 Tigers. Comes to McClin, he'll whip it down into the corner, round the half wall. Goes off far side. Becker will step up, holds this one, centers it up front. That's deflected, comes over near side. Cross-ice pass. Cherry picking again, shoot. Dinsmore with another save. Larson comes away with the puck. He'll race up the right-hand side. Loses it down into the Tiger zone. Kicked back out by the Tigers. Tigers whiff on the pass. Now broken up by Becker. Becker will come up the right. Line change just as somebody's coming out of the box. Becker takes a big check. Dumped into the Tiger zone. Graham will skate over, takes a shot, blocked down by the Tigers. Carnes comes away with it for the Tigers, skates it in left-hand side, goes around Mo down into the corner, sends it behind Dinsmore. Comes over near side. And we're going to get a penalty. I believe this is on the Tigers. That'll be Carnes. Interference. That'll somewhat neutralize this power play. There's 2:10 remaining on the double minor to Chicani. 2 minutes goes to the board for Carnes. So it'll be a 4-on-4 skate. And then the Tigers will get 10 more seconds on their power play. McClin and Morrison, Brookfield and Honan in here. Knights trailing 1-0. 9:32 remaining in the second. Down to Harris down low, back behind White. He'll skate out the right-hand side up through the middle. Through neutral ice. Squeezes Morrison and McClin, loses the puck. Now centered up front, loose, and here comes Honan the other way. And now we're going to get an offsides. Busher and Smith will check in on the forwards. Larson and McClin on the defense. Faceoff comes back to Larson. Put on the brakes, takes off with it up the right-hand side. Brings it into the Tiger zone. Sends it over to Smith. Big slapper. White with a save. Loose puck. Busher comes away with it. Puts on the brakes. Far right circle. Now it's McClin. His shot's blocked by Wells. Grabbed by the Tigers. Gains the red line and dumps it into the Knight zone. Comes around the half wall over to Larson in the near corner. He'll sends it over far side McClin. Back over to Larson behind Dinsmore. Up ahead to Busher. Busher brings it up the left-hand side, gains the blue line, takes a shot right into the glove of White. 8:21 remaining in the second. 49 seconds remaining on this 4-on-4 skate. Neal and Brookfield will check in. Larson and Becker on the defense. Grabbed by Carnes, chipped into the neutral zone. Now all the way down, that should be icing. Icing is the call. They'll bring it back into the Tiger zone for another face-off. Neal wins it to himself, battles Penn for it. And we're going to get a tripping. I believe that's on Penn. Maybe. No, it'll be Lawrence. Brookfield and Neal will go to the bench. Smith and Busher will come in. This will be a 4-on-3 for 36 seconds. No, Neal will stay out. He'll go to defense with Larson. So we got 4 forwards out there. Neal's played some defense, at least in practice. One over to Busher, to Larson. Larson brings it over near side Neal. He'll skate in. Back over to Larson. Nice pass. Larson skates in. Saved by White. Comes over near side to Busher. Tries to backhand it up to Neal. That's intercepted there by the Tigers all the way down behind Dinsmore. 15 seconds remaining on the power play for the Knights. Brought to you by Par Electric. Larson up ahead to Neal. And he lost the puck, skates in. That's going to be an offsides. So 7 seconds remaining on the 4-on-3. Then we'll go 4-on-4 for 10 seconds. And then the Knights will go back to a power play when Chicani comes out of the box. Larson will take this face off. Larson Smith. Larson wins it to Busher. We go to 4-on-4. Busher over to Larson. Skates in, takes a shot. Blocked up front. Grabbed by Larson. Now the Chicani comes out of the box. And it's back to a power play for the Knights for 1:10. Tigers cherry picking again. Neal racing back. Shot. Dinsmore save. So we can see the offensive prowess for the Tigers here. Is when they gain the puck down low, they're sending somebody trying to get it back behind the defense of the Knights. They've had 3 breakaways where they had a player around the blue line, and our defense was still standing at the red line. Brookfield, Honan, Neal, McClin, and Morrison. Defensive zone face-off power play for the Knights. One over to Honan, to Neal. Neal will skate up the left-hand side. Tries to center it towards Brookfield, but got deflected. Now it comes up front from Morrison back to Honan. She'll lose it. Morrison with a shot goes wide left to the net. Held by Morrison. Sends one way wide left to the net. Comes to Carnes. Carnes will clear it. Dinsmore will leave it for McClin. He'll race around the backside of McClin. Now kicks it over to Morrison. Gains the blue line. Loses the puck to McClin. Peels back for a little time and space. Leaves it for Honan. Loses it. Grabbed by McClin. Skates in. Up front. Poked away by Brookfield. Saved by the Tigers. Deflected, so no icing on this. 6:01 remaining in the second. Tigers are back to full strength. Big check down low. Morrison slow to get up off the ice. Tigers holding in up against the half wall. Now it's Brookfield up ahead to Honan. Gets poked away down into the corner. This will be McClin. Around the half wall to Morrison. Morrison slaps it off the wall to Smith. Slapped back in by Davis of the Tigers. Delayed offsides. Now this is grabbed by Smith. Looks ahead to Susie Honan. Dumps it in to the Tiger zone. Grabbed by the Tigers around the half wall to Martins. And there they were trying to get that outlet pass back behind everyone. That's cycled up to Neal. Neal will bring it in the right-hand side. Centered. Smith just past his stick, goes between the legs. Busher will hold it in. Off of Neal, deflected right to Smith. Comes back to Busher, back to Neal. Shoots, saved by White. Loose puck grabbed by Busher. He'll skate in. Takes a shot wide of the net. Cleared by the Tigers. That's going to be an icing. Smart play by the Tigers as the Knights had all the momentum going right there. Faceoff will come back into the Knight zone with 4:40 remaining in the second. Knights trailing 1-0. Great scoring opportunity there for the Knights. Neal couldn't get it past White. Larson, Busher, Neal, Becker, and Graham will climb over the wall. Late substitution here. Larson wins it back towards Neal, but comes to Becker. Becker will get it to Neal. Tries to get it to Graham. Deflected, comes out into neutral ice. We got a delayed offsides. Now the Tigers will clear it to neutral. Comes to Larson, cycles it up to Neal. Becker had to slow up, waiting for Neal to get back on side. Deflected, comes out to the corner, now cleared by the Tigers. And we will get an icing. 4:08 remaining in the second. Knights trailing 1-0. Diaz, Larson, and Honan in. Diaz, Becker, and Honan. Brookfield and Graham. Face off, grabbed by Brookfield. Centers it up high to Becker. Skates in, takes a shot. Saved by White. Poked at by Honan. White covers it up. Face off in the Tiger zone once again. Tigers will get 5 fresh legs out here. Knights will keep Becker, Brookfield, Honan, and Diaz. Graham and Becker on the defense. Grabbed by the Tigers down the corner. Brookfield can't get a hold of it. Tigers centered around the half wall near side. Centered out. Here comes Carnes. Round Becker. Poked away by Graham down into the near corner. Graham sends it up the half wall. Harris will hold this one in. Tries to go D to D. Honan's right there. Deflected, but comes right to Carnes. Centered up front. Diaz with his, or Densmore with a save. Another save, and then a rebound goes in the back of the net. .326 remaining in the second. Tigers are up 2-0. Larson, Smith, and Neal, McClin and Morrison on the defense for this face-off here at neutral ice after the second goal of the game for the Tigers. Face-off, Larson to McClin, pushed up the head. Larson tips it into the Tiger zone, skates in, takes a shot, rebound, shoots and scores! Kansas City goal! Number 77, Bo Smith. From number 25, Charlie Larson. 3:15 remaining in the second. Knights have cut the deficit in half. It's 2-1. Larson wins it back to McClin. Cross ice, slings it, trying to get it to Neal. Intercepted by Harris. Skates it in, takes a shot, deflected. Comes over near corner. Grabbed by McClin once again. Now he's looking ahead to Neal, just past Neal, and he couldn't get a stick on it, and that'll be icing. Faceoff will be in the Knight zone. 2:56 remain in the second, 2-1 Tigers. McClin grabs this one as it's tied up at the dot. Skates in, gets around down into the corner. Neal goes to the front. Smith's right there, tries to get it to Smith, broken up by the Tigers. Try to clear it off the half wall. Morrison will hold this one, sends one way wide left, comes over near side to Neal. Cycles it to Morrison, or to Larson, back to Neal. Backhands it up high to Morrison, sends it back into the corner to Neal. Neal tied up, down both players go. Neal may have drawn a tripping penalty there by Wells. As the arm's in the air, Neal went over the back of Wells as he went down. Oh, and they're going to give the penalty on Neal. Okay, and Wells is going to get one too. Thought Wells should have had one. Neal gets a cross check. Gave Wells a roughing, but it probably could have been a tripping too. So we'll skate 5-on-5, 2:20 remaining in the second. Honan, Diaz, Brookfield check in on the forwards. Becker and McClin on the defense. They'll both be eligible to come out. First stoppage at 20 seconds remaining in the period. Face-off grab by the Tigers, tipped by Brookfield, goes wide of the net. They'll try to clear it up the wall. Becker will hold this one at the blue line. Nice forecheck by the Tigers. Cross ice pass off Susie's skate. Grabbed by the Tigers, blocked by Diaz, kick back out. This will be Honan up the right-hand side. Skates in, takes a shot wide of the net, comes over near side. McClin will hold this. Tries to send one towards the net. That was actually blocked by Diaz. Trickles down low to Brookfield. Tries to center to McClin, comes right to Diaz. Shot wide left of the net. Grabbed by Brookfield, up the wall, past McClin, comes out to neutral. Down into the Knight zone will be McClin. Backhands across ice to Becker. Pushed up ahead off the boards to himself, brings it in, takes a shot, deflected, goes off into the near corner. Cleared out by the Tigers. Becker's right there. Now they'll punch it down into the Knight zone. This will be grabbed by McClin. Comes cross ice to Brookfield. Up ahead to Diaz. Hit chip there by Davenport on Diaz. Loose puck. Now it comes up to McClin. Takes a shot, deflected by Brookfield. Comes back towards McClin. He'll send it back down low. 45 seconds remaining in the period. Grabbed by the Tigers, back behind White. Stolen by Honan. Loose puck, grabbed by Brookfield. He'll lose it. Honan gets it up to Becker. Takes a shot wide of the net. Comes over near side. McClin. Blocked again by Diaz. He's blocked two shots at McClin now. Tigers will rip it around the boards. That'll come out to neutral. 20 seconds remaining. Grabbed by Becker in the Knight zone. Now stolen by the Tigers. Skates in on Dinsmore, shoots and scores. Defensive zone turnover for the Knights. As Becker tried to go cross ice, it was slapped down. That's a power play goal with 8 seconds remaining. No power play goal. That was a 5-on-5 skate. 8.4 seconds remaining in the second. Another late period goal. Tigers have scored 2 of their 3 goals with 9 seconds or less remaining in the period. And after 2, the Knights have some work to do, trailing 3-1. At the end of the first, Tigers got a goal with 9 seconds remaining. At the end of the second, with 8.7 seconds remaining off the turnover, they get a second goal. Towards the end of the period, and they now lead 3-1. That's the end of intermission number 2. Knights trailing 3-1. Knights will bring out Busher, Smith, and Larson. McClynn's out here. Now we're looking to see who that other defense is going to be, and it's going to be Becker. Third period brought to you by Par Electric. Knights are going to need some work to do. They got to light up the scoreboard a few times to get caught up in this one. Goalies are ready. Face-off grab by Busher. Skates in left-hand side, takes a shot. That's deflected, goes up into the net. Face-off will be in the Tiger zone just underway in the third. Face-off brought to you by CK Print Design. For all your printing needs, check out CK Print. Face-off went over to Busher. Up high to McClynn. Backhands it down low. Grabbed by Busher behind White. Skates to his forehand. Shot goes wide of the net. Grabbed by Larson far side. Skates to the slot. Shot blocked up front by the Tigers. Cleared out to neutral. Lawrence with a shot. Blocker saved by Dinsmore. Comes right to the stick of McClynn. McClynn will skate up the left-hand side. Brings it in left-hand side. Down low. Tries to center it. Larson up front. Deflected off into the near corner by White. Now McClynn brings it up high to Becker. Takes a shot. Saved by White. Covered up by White. Face-off will be in the Tiger zone. 12:04 remaining in the game. Diaz, Honan, and Brookfield. Graham and Morrison. Face-off comes up high to Graham. Sends it across ice, trying to get it to Brookfield. Deflected, comes up to Moe. He'll send one wide right of the net. Comes over near side towards Honan. Out into the neutral zone by the Tigers. Nice back check by Graham. Bounces it off Diaz. Diaz will grab it, skates it in. Left-hand side to his backhand. Tries to pull back to his forehand. Loses the puck. Regains control in the corner. Now loses it once again. Morrison steps up, holds it. Brookfield sends it down low. Back behind White. Grabbed by Harris. Off the boards towards Martins. Pass Graham. Here comes the Tigers. They'll put on the brakes. Saved by Dinsmore. Goes off in the far corner by Morrison. Slapped up the boards. Trying to get it to Brookfield. Delayed off sides. Loose puck. Grabbed by the Tigers. Dumped back into the Knight zone as they were on their good side of the red line. Quickly from Graham up to Honan. Takes a shot right into the glove of White. They'll blow it dead. Face-off will be in the Tigers zone with 10:51 remaining in the game. Knights trailing 3-1. Smith, Busher, and Larson. Graham and Morrison on the defense for this offensive zone face-off. Loose puck grabbed by the Tigers there in the crease. Busher will hold it at the blue line, sends it back down in the corner. Larson will chase after it. Slaps it around the half wall, over to the near corner. Pushed up the boards by the Tigers. Graham will send it back into the crease. Larson will battle for it, far side. Pops out right to Busher. He'll take a shot over the top of White. Comes over near side. Graham will hold it down towards Busher. Smith sends it up the half wall to Graham. He'll take a shot right up front. Diaz. Saved by White. Oh, that wasn't Diaz. That was Larson. I saw the 5 and thought it was Diaz. Brookfield, Honan, and Diaz will check in here. Becker and McClin on the defense. Went over towards Honan, comes up to Becker. He'll take a shot. Blocked by the Tigers. Tigers player limping around. Becker's got himself a hard slap shot. Now Becker will lose it off the steal to Lawrence. Back to Honan. Loose up front. This will be grabbed by Diaz. He'll lose it to McClin. McClin will push it ahead to Brookfield. Brookfield up the left-hand side. Poke checked away. Comes right to McClin. Right to Diaz. Shot goes high up over the net. Comes over near side towards Honan. Honan tries to center it, getting it to Diaz. Diaz's backhand saved by White. Now slapped around the half wall by the Tigers. Grabbed by McClin. McClin skates in, takes a shot. That goes up high over the net. Becker, he'll take a shot, bounces it off of Brookfield's skate. Off into the far corner, grabbed by Diaz. Now lost by off of Diaz's stick, sauced high up into the air, out into neutral. This will be grabbed by McClin. Off of Honan's stick as she gained the red line, down into the Tiger zone, grabbed by Harris. Becker will take a shot right into the glove of White. Larson, Smith, and Bush are in here. Graham and Morrison on the defense. 8:40 remaining. Time starting to become a problem for the Knights, trailing 3-1. Cleared out by the Tigers. That should be icing. Icing will be the call. With 8:34 remaining, they'll bring it back into the Tiger zone. Face-off comes to Busher, leaves it for Graham. Graham sends one up front, blocked away by the Tigers. Now cleared over to the near wall. Nice job by Morrison as he broke that up as the Tigers were trying to cherry pick once again. Loose puck grabbed by Busher, skates in left-hand side. And we're going to get either a hooking or a holding there on the Tigers. Knights will go to the power play, brought to you by Par Electric. And hooking is the call, 8:06 remaining in the game. McClin will come in for Graham. Neal will come in for Morrison. We'll go with 4 forwards. So it's Larson, Smith, Busher. Neal goes to the defensive side, and McClin. Cleared out by the Tigers to McClin. He'll have to wait for the Knights to get onside. Gains the red line. Over to Smith. Into the Tiger zone. Peels back a little time and space right to McClin. Off far corner. Brings it up high to Smith. Over to Neal. Down low to Busher. Back up high to Smith. Nice passing. Backhand to Larson. He'll lose it. Tigers will clear it. Neal will race back. Grabs this one to the head of steam up the right-hand side. Has it poke checked away. Now here comes Carnes. Skates in off the top of the post. Neal will grab it with some speed. 2-on-2. Neal left. Smith goes to the center. Neal around. Centers it up front. Larson can't handle that one. Comes off near corner, slapped around the backside of the half wall. Nice thought by Neal. Trying to get it to Larson. Now kicked out to neutral. This will be Neal. Neal up the left-hand side. Tried to get it over to Busher. Stolen by the Tigers. Loose puck comes into the Knight zone, grabbed by Larson. 40 seconds remaining on the power play, pushed ahead to Busher. Busher will skate in, right through the crease, comes back to his forehand. What a glove save by White. Nice move by Busher as he came right through the middle of the 2 defensemen, gained his forehand in the crease, tried to go cross net, and it went right glove side to White, and he makes a nice save. Keep this thing at 3-1 with 6:35 remaining in the game. Knights trailing. They are on the power play, 30 seconds remaining on that. Diaz down low to Honan, centered up front. Brookfield can't handle that one. Now here come the Tigers. Martin's pass slapped away by Morrison, then cleared down. That's going to be an icing by the Tigers. Offensive zone faceoff for the Knights with 8 seconds remaining on the power play. 6:14 remaining in the game. That's going to be at neutral ice. Because it shouldn't have been an icing. That's the 3rd time we've seen that by the refs tonight. Calling an icing when the team's on a penalty kill. That's the end of the power play for the Knights. Now this should be an icing unless Dinsmore touches it. And he won't. We'll get the icing in the offensive zone faceoff. 5:57 remaining in the game. We're back to full strength, both teams. Becker and McClin will check in on the defense. Smith, Busher, and Larson on the forwards. Larson wins it up to McClin. Backhands it cross ice towards Becker. Grabbed by Busher. Sends it off the half wall to Becker. Whiffed on the one-timer. Cleared back out to neutral by the Tigers. Smith gets it to Larson, back to Smith. Shot just wide left of the net. Cleared by the Tigers. Now it'll be McClin coming back into the Knight zone. Backhands it over near side to Becker. Touch pass back behind Smith, but Larson gets there, sends it into the Tiger zone. Comes right to Busher, right to his forehand. Can't pull the trigger on it, poked away by the Tigers. Grabbed by Busher. To Smith, shot goes just past the right post. Larson up high to Becker. His one-timer slap shot goes wide of the net. Diaz loose up front. And laying on his back, White gets another save. Stuck his glove out to the left. Larson poked at it, and it went right into the glove. If he could have got about 6 inches of elevation on that thing, it would have went in the net. White with a look what I found save. When you're on, you're on. Becker Diaz. Diaz wins it to Becker. His shot deflected, goes up in the net. They'll blow it dead. Another offensive zone faceoff for the Knights with 4:45 remaining in the game. Face-off to Becker. Shot. Blocker saved by White. Far side, grabbed by McClin. Centered up front. Comes right to Becker. He'll take a shot. Saved by White once again. Centering pass by Honan. Goes past everyone out into neutral ice. This will be grabbed by McClin. McClin will skate in. Right to the slot. Leaves it for Brookfield. He'll take a shot. Blocked up front by Wells. Comes right to McClin. Looking, comes around the backside, tries a wraparound, and another save by White as he got that left leg over to the post. Kept that backdoor wraparound shot by McClin out of the net. Larson, Smith, and Busher will check in once again. Morrison and Graham on the defense for this offensive zone faceoff. 4:13 remaining in the game. Larson with the gets the faceoff. Off that partition, bounces right to Busher, takes a shot. White with another save. White is on fire tonight. Knights have had quite a few high-scoring opportunities right in front of the net, and White continues to keep it out. Face-off down low, grabbed by Harris, back behind the net, slings it around the half wall up towards Carnes, pops it out to neutral ice. McClin in a foot race. McClin wins it, gets it out to Becker. Now kick back over into the Knight zone. This will be McClin. Delayed offside, so this will be grabbed by Busher. Busher up the left-hand side, brings it into the Tiger zone. Round Harris. Empty net for the Knights. In comes Neal, up high to Neal. Off the top of his stick, but he does keep it in the zone, gets it over to McClin. McClin down low to Neal, shot off of White. Tough angle shot from Neal. White with another save. Now Neal will send it cross ice over to McClin. He'll skate in, comes around the backside of White. 6-on-5 empty net. What do we got going on down here between Larson and Harris? Harris was laying on top of Larson, couldn't get up. And they're going to call Harris, maybe both of them. They're going to both go to the sin bin, brought to you by the Westport Flea Market Bar and Grill. So this will be offsetting. 2:59 remaining in the game. Knights trailing 3-1. Knights have an empty net, so 6 skaters for this offensive zone faceoff. And Kipkus wants an explanation. So the Knights have McClin, Graham, Becker, Busher, Smith, and Neal in here. So we got 3 defensemen. We got a timeout by the Tigers. Timeout. Kempkus drawing up what he wants done on this offensive zone face-off. Main thing is the Knights need to gain possession of this puck. We got an empty net down here with Dinsmore off to the bench. Difference of this game is about 18 seconds. Tigers scored with 9 seconds remaining in the first and with 8.7 seconds remaining in the second. And that's the 2-goal difference. Haven't seen Chikainen. I believe that's because he's got 3 penalties, so Kempkes is trying to keep him available for tomorrow's games. So Smith will take the face-off. Neal, Busher, Graham, McClin, and Becker. Smith wins it down into the corner. Neal will send it up to Becker. He'll take a shot, deflected, goes wide of the net. Grabbed by the Tigers, pushed ahead by the Tigers. Nice back check by Smith, and we're going to get a penalty on Smith as he brought down the Tigers player, but that's not a bad penalty. Holding would be my guess. Now they're discussing, is it going to be a penalty shot or not? No penalty shot. Face-off will be in the Knight zone. So back to a 5-on-5 as Dinsmore goes back into the crease for this defensive zone face-off. The Tigers coach is wanting a penalty shot, and he's not going to get it. .241 remaining in the game with the Knights trailing 3-1. Tigers are now on the power play. Face-off comes to McClin. Pushed ahead, just off the stick of Neal. Back into the Knight zone. Shot save Dinsmore. Comes to McClin. Slaps it off the glass. Penn will hold it at the blue line for the Tigers. Harris backhands it to Becker. Becker will kick it out to neutral ice. Cross ice pass by the Tigers. In comes Carnes. Shot, glove save Dinsmore. Face off in the Knight zone, 2:13 remaining in the game. Brookfield and Diaz will check in. Neal and Busher will go to the bench. Face-off won by Dinsmore to McClin. Whiffs on the clearing pass. Now he gets it pushed up the wall towards Diaz. Diaz will push it ahead, Brookfield. Oop, he skated right past that one. And here come the Tigers the other way. That's Carnes' shot. Blocker save, Dinsmore. Rebound, save Dinsmore! Nice one-timer there by Martins as the puck was coming down from a high save by Dinsmore. Came right to the stick of Martins, and Dinsmore gets another save. 1:54 remaining in the game, 1:14 remaining on the Tigers' power play. Tigers win the faceoff. Carnes save, Dinsmore. Becker tries to clear it. That bounced off a Tigers player or the back of the ref, one of the two. Loose puck. McClin can't get to it. Still loose. Neal tries to slap in the neutral zone, does get it there. Long shot by Becker right on White. Saved, grabbed by Busher. Back to the slot. Busher can't get the backhand. Now slap shot by Becker, deflected off Martin's skate. And Neal gets a cross-check penalty. He's out. And Kempka's talking to Atkins again. And this will be a 5-on-3 power play with 1:13 remaining. In will come Morrison and Graham. Busher, the lone forward for the Knights. Face off one, Karn shot, Dinsmore with a save, rebound, another save by Dinsmore. Davenport will hold at the blue line, down low to Morrison. 1 minute remaining, this will come to Busher. Busher with a shot wide left to the net. Grabbed by the Tigers, Davenport dumps it into the Knight zone. Dinsmore kicks it off to the side. Graham will try to clear it. Shot, saved, Dinsmore, now cleared by Carter Graham. Tigers with the puck, out to Carnes. He'll slow it up with 18 seconds remaining in the game. Tigers leading 3-1. Cross ice near side. Graham will step up, holds at the blue line, sends one up front, and that'll do it. Tigers take this one 3-1. In the Knights' winning streak. Last loss was way back down at Northwest Arkansas for this JV1 team. They get shut down tonight. White looked really good in net for the Tigers. A lot of great scoring opportunities for the Knights, and Knight just did not let them into the net. Even had a glove save laying on his back. Stuck his left paw out. Kept it out of the net on a shot by Larson. And that'll do it. We'll be back tomorrow, 9:30 for varsity action. JV will follow at 11:30. Final score, Tigers 3, Knights 1. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.